Hey Chaparral Chemistry students, Mr. Etter again here with our third Pivot Lab Interactives. This one is with gas emission spectra. I think this one's pretty straightforward, but there's a couple things I do want to point out to you to help you out. In part one, you're looking just at hydrogen's spectra. You may use this data later in the lab. When you click on the video to play, you will notice that this light shows up and they put a screen in front of it. And so when they turn the lights off, that's when we want to pause the video. When the video is paused, click on the settings, click on the ruler, and you can't move this ruler because the nanometers have already been adjusted. Your goal is to figure out the spectral lines, the brightest spectral lines for hydrogen. So you see this red one here. What is the wavelength of that red light? What is the wavelength of this blue light? And this one here looks like the third brightest one to me. What's the wavelength of that blue light? Record that data and answer the question. Once you answer that question, it will unlock part two, where you will be looking at hydrogen, helium, sodium, mercury, and lithium, not in that order. But you can play the video. Once again, pause the video once they turn the lights off, and get the ruler back out on here and record the wavelength of the brightest lines and compare those wavelengths to the wavelengths in the table. Once you compare those wavelengths, then choose what is the gas in video number one. You would select your answer and move on to the second video. The second video, if you click change, gas number two, click load, and now the ruler is still up. That's awesome. And wait for them to turn the lights off. And now pause the video and record your wavelengths. So you will do that 5 times, and then part 3 is an application of absorption spectra, and read the information here, answer this last question, and submit.